The views expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect those of this station.
Welcome to Insights into Northeast Michigan, a WBKB News public affairs program. Insights deals with the issues affecting those in the community, as well as Northeast Michigan and the state. And now, Insights into Northeast Michigan.
Welcome everyone to this edition of Insights. Today we're taking a deeper look into the organization of NMSCA to see what different programs they have to offer here in Northeast Michigan. Good evening everyone, I'm Valina Jones, and here joining me is Gina Bay, who is the Associate Director of the Region 9 Agency on Aging. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. So I just want to start out by, for people who don't know, what is NMSCA?
NMSCA is actually, it stands for Northeast Michigan Community Service Agency, and NMSCA is a community action agency. Community action agencies were implemented in 1964 by Lyndon B. Johnson with the Economic Recovery Act. And so our goal basically is to serve underprivileged persons in the community.
Okay, and you guys have several different programs. What do your programs, what are they geared towards?
Well, specifically, I work with the Region 9 Area Agency on Aging, and we serve elderly and disabled persons in the community. But NMSCA as a whole also offers client services, early childhood programs, volunteer programs, community development, things such as weatherization. A lot of people are familiar with Head Start, so that's also part of our organization. Okay, and specifically in Region 9, what do you do? Okay. Specifically in Region 9, as the Associate Director of the Area Agency on Aging, we work with elderly and disabled persons in the community. Here today we're to talk about the Nursing Facility Transition Program, where we help people return from the nursing home into the community. But basically we try to provide supports and services in the home so that people can remain in their setting as long as possible. Okay, and how many programs do you have within Region 9 that are helping the elderly community and disabled people? Within Region 9 Area Agency on Aging, we have a number of programs such as Personal Action Towards Health, the My Cafe program, but I specifically work with the community-based care programs. And so we have a relationship with our councils on aging, other provider agencies, and so we support them in the community. Okay. Services such as the My Choice Waiver program, some people are familiar with that. Right. We also have a care management program, and it's a different funding source basically. Okay, and speaking about funding, throughout your different programs, where do you guys receive funding from? We receive federal and state funding, but we also receive funding from private and public sources. So the Medicaid waiver program, which relates to the Nursing Facility Transition Program, is a funding source. Those are Medicaid dollars. Mm-hmm. And so, but we're also the payer of last resort. So if someone comes to us and they have other payer sources, mm-hmm. Other insurances, or if we can find things for them in the community, we would access that first. Okay, so. And typically every year, how much funding do you guys get for your programs? That's an excellent question. And so it really depends because there's such a wide range of funding sources. Between in all of the different programs, it really varies. Right. So. Okay. And then within all your different programs, how many counties do you guys reach out to? We reach out to 12 counties, all in Northeast Lower Michigan. So Sheboygan and like the Gaylord 75 line over to Alpena and down to Aranet County. Mm-hmm. So basically that whole region. Okay, and how can residents of Northeast Michigan get involved in your different programs? They could call any one of our intake numbers, but they could also access our website, www.nemsca.org, and all of the information is on there as well. Okay. So. Okay, and when, I know there's different programs, however, when people are asking for your guys' help, do they have to pay any money out of their pocket? They do not. Okay. No. So they're all either grant funded or Medicaid funded programs. Okay. And no, that we do send out donation but it is strictly donation, and they're not required to pay for any services that we supply.
Right, and why was that so important to your organization to really be able to not only have these programs for people to get involved in, but free of charge for them?
The focus of our organization is to reduce poverty, and so the people that we generally work with are of that particular, need, and so we're not going to want to charge them for services that will hopefully help increase their quality of life.
Right.
So.
And do you think this has positively impacted your program's rate of success?
Absolutely, absolutely, because people can come to us and then hopefully we can get them to move forward and increase their quality of life with the services that we can provide.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, Gina, for coming and being on our show today and telling us a little bit more about NMSCA.
Thank you for having me.
All right, well, coming up after the break, we will talk to two other individuals that are a part of NMSCA to get a deeper view of the Nursing Transition Program. Welcome back, everybody. Megan and Laurel join me now, who are part of the Nursing Facility Transition Program, which is a separate side of NMSCA. Thank you for joining me today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
Yes, definitely. And so right off the bat, what is the Nursing Facility Transition Program?
That's a good question. The Nursing Facility Transition Program is a program where Laurel and I, myself, case manager and a registered nurse, transition individuals out of nursing homes over the 12 counties that we cover back into independent living, whether that be their own home, an assisted living type of situation, or an adult foster care home. We help them basically live independently. However, you do have to qualify for our program, and there are different needs based on different, each individual is different.
Okay.
So.
And what are some of those qualifications?
Basically, you have to have Medicaid. So in order to be eligible to be involved with the Nursing Facility Transition Program, you have to have Medicaid, and you have to be medically eligible through what's called the level of care determination determined by the Michigan Department of Community Health.
Okay.
And so basically, Laurel and I go into the nursing home. We do a quick assessment with the client and the family members, and then if they're eligible, we then go ahead and with the transition.
Okay. And what's really the purpose of your guys' program?
The purpose of the Nursing Facility Transition Program is much like what Megan just said, to help those that are already in nursing homes return back to a community setting through helping them find a home. We do have a housing coordinator that if someone has been in the nursing home for a long period of time and does not have a place to live, we can find them low-income housing and help them with household setup and other community services. We can provide first month's rent and a security deposit.
Oh, wow.
If they don't have things to furnish that home, we can find furniture for them, help them set up the kitchen, sometimes pay for groceries, and then we can also do home modifications. If the person, say, was walking before they left home and something happened to them medically and now they're confined to a wheelchair, we can possibly have a builder build them a ramp, widen doorways, and just make their home more accessible for them.
Wow.
And we can also provide homemaking, personal care. If the individual, say, can't bathe themselves for whatever medical reason, we have people that can go into the home and help them with bathing. We can provide meals, and we can provide nursing care for them too in their home, like medication setup and things like that.
Right. Sounds fantastic, like a fantastic program, because you guys not only help people transition from, like you said, a nursing home into a new residence that they may have lived in before, or a new residence entirely, but you guys kind of go through the journey with them.
Right.
How do you work together with them?
What we do is we work together with them. If they have a power of attorney, conservator, or guardian, we work with them as well, and family members. Basically, the more formal supports, informal supports, the better. We work with them on a one-on-one basis. We contact them once they leave the nursing home every 30 days, and we physically see them every 90 days or sooner if needed. We basically work with them on developing skills to live independently. We offer many different types of services. However, It's basically, every individual person is so different. So, for an example, one might need grief counseling where the other has much family support and they just need the right funds or the right type of durable medical equipment to be able to live independently. So we work with them as a whole on whatever they need. We try to provide them with whatever they need to live independently.
Great. And who is eligible for this program? You talked a little bit about how Medicaid patients are eligible for the program, but is there an age requirement, or how does that work?
Go ahead.
Well, we do have an intake specialist, so if someone's interested in finding out if they qualify for the program, they can call the office and they'll speak with Ann Weir. She's our intake specialist. She will ask them questions to see if they qualify, and she'll answer any questions they have about the nursing facility transition program. And at that time, if she feels that Megan and I, the NIFTY team, need to go out and visit them, we'll set up an appointment with them. And it's for anybody 18 or older that's in a nursing facility that has Medicaid and qualifies through that level of care determination that Megan was talking about. And also when we do go visit with them, once they do qualify through the level of care determination, we use person-centered planning to develop a plan with them that best suits them and their needs.
Great, fantastic. And so when setting up a plan, is this a long-term view for them? How do you guys do this? Do you do short-term goals, or how do you plan out the rest of their program?
Basically, how we plan that out is we start out with short-term goals. So at every reassessment, which happens every 90 days, I will ask her or the client, individually, what is your goal today? So that when I come back 90 days, we can see if you've met that goal. And if you haven't, we're going to work towards meeting it. We have goals, for our clients that some of them are just really simple. For an example, we would just like to get outside more. Maybe a long-term goal would be, we've been in the nursing home for so long and we want to reestablish a relationship, with our daughter that we haven't seen. So there's, everybody has, different goals.
So on an individual basis then?
Exactly.
Okay.
Everything's person-centered, and there's no two cases that are alike.
Right.
The programs that we have to help these people maintain their independence, it's all individually based. So one person might be receiving Meals on Wheels, and one person might be having their medication set up. It's just different for everybody.
Okay. And then within this program, I know this is different than a typical nursing home program. How does that differ?
I'm not too familiar with the other nursing home programs that they might offer, or the other programs that are out there offer. However, with our program specifically, you have to, three basic qualifications. The Medicaid, you have to be medically eligible, and then you have to have some sort of barrier to transitioning. This program is for people who are really in need, that really need help to be able to live independently. And then once we help them and get everything set up, which sometimes takes weeks to months to years, depending on, we then case manage them. Basically, like I said earlier, phone calls every 30 days, face-to-face contact every 90 days, and we're with them as a support. And then in the long run, we have established this great relationship with these individuals.
And why is it so important to you both to work so closely with your clients to get them to be independent?
I would say it's really important to Megan and I to maintain and establish that relationship so that they are successful. Once we go through all the work of helping them to get out of the nursing home and become independent, we want to make sure that they're successful. So that's why we follow them so closely, to make sure they have what they need to remain on their own.
Great, definitely. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining me today, you guys.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Well, when we come back from the break, we'll talk to a client within the program to see how she's benefited. Welcome back, everybody, from Insights. Laura O'Neill joins us now. And Laura, you have been a part of the nursing transition program for a couple months now. What made you decide to get into the program?
I decided I wanted to be on my own. And I got to the point where I was able to walk by myself, which was a problem when I went in there. I had Parkinson's, and it makes it hard to walk because you fall a lot. So until I was able to maneuver to walk by myself with a walker, I had to stay there.
Okay, and you were staying in Tender Care, correct?
Tender Care on Long Rapids Road.
And how long had you been in that facility?
2.5 years.
Oh, wow.
A long time.
Right, right, a long time. And so from being in Tender Care for 2.5 years, as we said, that is a long time. What made you decide that now I really want to be on my own?
The NEMSCA crew was giving me information, and then we worked with it. And I worked on things like I did my teeth before I left, and I did my psychiatrist appointment so I didn't have to go no more. And so there were things that I did for myself that I eliminated having to do.
Okay.
So I do have care workers every day, 2 hours a day. They take me shopping, they cook my meals, clean my house, and it's very nice.
Nice.
It's 14 hours a week is what I get in care.
Okay. And how have you seen a difference from when you were in Tender Care to now being in your own home?
Just a whole lot. Just a whole lot of difference, yeah. You like the privacy and not having to have all the noises and kind of contend with all the sick people that are really there, you know.
Right, right.
And there's a lot of people there that can't get out of there for real reasons, and I was able to move on.
Right, definitely. And so you talked a little bit about the services that they're providing you, so many hours throughout the week. But what is a typical day like for you?
Well, I get up in the morning. I don't always get up real early, but my girls come between 10 and 11 o'clock until like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And that, they, like I say, they usually clean the house, do the dirty dishes, vacuum, make me lunch, and then it's time for them to go. So then from there on, I'm on my own.
Okay.
My daughter is part of the crew, and she comes and she does my showers, and she takes me grocery shopping, and the other girls basically do the cleaning and cooking the lunch.
Right. And so how does this help you? What kind of significant difference does this make in your life?
It makes me independent. Yeah, I needed that. And sometimes you get kind of lonely when you're by yourself, but it's a nice independence.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And if you didn't have this transition program in your life, if you didn't have this help, how do you think your life would be different?
I'd still be in Tender Care if I hadn't taken it to the next step.
And so when you don't have people that are caring for you within your own home, what do you do? What are the things that you can do by yourself?
I crochet and I sew. I do embroidery. I do basically make my dinner, but I eat a lot of TV dinners too. And but I am able to do those things. But I'm limited to how high I can reach.
Okay.
So it makes it hard if they don't get it out before they leave. I have a hard time getting in the cupboard to get what I need. So we try and figure out what I'm going to have, so it's down on the counter so I can reach it.
Okay. And
I didn't take this apartment as a handicap apartment because they had so many people waiting. So I opted to take it just because I could get out of there. And there were 17 people on the waiting list for handicap apartments at the time that I got the one I'm in.
Oh, wow. Okay, so what kind of amenities do you have in your apartment?
What do you mean? Oh, I have a dishwasher, I have a microwave oven, I have an air conditioner, I have one bedroom with a super large closet and a living room.
So still enough space to get around in.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, definitely able to move around.
Right. And what was it like when you were living in Tender Care then?
Yeah, you're in there pretty cramped. Yeah.
And so transitioning into your own place has really given you the opportunity to not only be more mobile, but have your independence. How important was that to you?
It is. It is. You know, you really don't have any privacy space in Tender Care, and that's because there's so many people there. They can hold up to 130 people in the one on Long Rapids Road. So you got to realize 2 people to a room, that's quite a few people.
Right, right.
You know? So, yeah. And I had physical therapy when I was there, too.
Okay. And you're still doing physical therapy?
No, I'm not.
No?
I haven't done any physical therapy since I left Tender Care.
Oh, really? And how has that impacted you?
It doesn't make a difference, but I do ask the girls to take me out, and I walk like, I got a sidewalk in front and behind the building that I live in. And so they take me out and I walk for a little bit, or I can go grocery shopping, and I don't need my walker. I just use the cart that you put the groceries in, and I walk quite a ways in Walmart, believe me.
Right,
There's a lot of miles in there.
Get your amount of exercise in.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Okay. Well, what would you say to clients that are looking into this nursing transition program?
That there's things that they gotta accomplish before they can get out of there. You know, they have to be able to, and I have a nurse that comes in, sets up my medicine twice a week, or every 2 weeks, I mean. And so you gotta have things in order before you can leave.
Okay. And how long was that process for you?
I really don't remember. I think I would say kind of like, I would think right around September we started working on it, on the different avenues that I had to complete.
Right. And then you moved into your own residence when?
Yeah, March 2nd.
March. Okay. So
I've been there 5 months.
Right, right. So definitely something that you have to plan for, but
Yeah.
something that you think is well worth it?
Oh, yes, definitely, definitely.
Okay.
But like I say, you got to have those avenues in there to, like the workers, the care workers, and there's things that have to be done to get to that point.
Right. Okay.
Thank
well,
you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sitting down with me and telling me your experiences about the program. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Well, this will wrap it up for this edition of Insights. You can catch us back here next Sunday. Have a good afternoon.
Insights into Northeast Michigan is produced by WBKB News. If you have any comments, suggestions, or topics you would like to see on a future show, please email WBKB News. This has been a production of Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation. All rights reserved.